Un, deux, trois.
When people are talking about leadership and stuff, and I think there's something to be said is that when, as storytellers, that's where the leadership comes from. And when we're talking about whether it's in our ceremonies or in the political realm or whatever, you got to know your story. You know, you got to know your community. You got to know what it is that you're standing to talk about.
Exactly.
And I think that one of the things that in the era of time, and whether we're talking about the Assembly of First Nations or the Black community and the young people that are grabbing onto the hip hop, there is this element of the storyteller and the narrative of music and their narrative of their life experience that feeds, you know, these platforms of music.
I think it was really important when I was thinking about what I wanted to present for the program. I knew that I needed to bring Boogie. We needed to get him in here. I thought it was a perfect idea, and it's brilliant. I think he's an amazing artist, you know, and he's a good storyteller. But the whole connection between the old school blues on your material, some of the Rasta, the reggae in my material, some of the traditional chanting in your material, some of the hip hop roots there. Like there's all these weaving this basket that's happening, and I think it's gonna present itself nicely and capture that
Well,
love.
that's interesting because we took a week off, right? So this is our first segment back after a week off, and I was saying to somebody the other day, you know, I wasn't sure how quickly we'd gear up, but what we've done is we've created this vessel, and the creative energy just pours into it. And the moment the creative energy pours into it, we're back up.
That's interesting.
It's like we haven't missed a beat. We're back up. The creative energy's flowing. It's pouring in. Here we go.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that traditional teaching about the little boy water drum. In a nutshell, it's basically this young boy, his spirit went to the other side of the moon, and he was on a vision quest. So that eagle came and picked up his spirit and took him to this lodge. And these grandfathers were in this lodge, and they had this vessel that they passed around in front of each other. And then when it came to that little boy, he looked inside that vessel, and he seen colors that he had never seen before. He heard sounds that he had never heard before, and he's seen a peace and felt a peace that he's never experienced before in his life. And each of those grandfathers reached into that vessel and rubbed that medicine 7 times on that boy, and he came back. It's interesting that you say that vessel. That's a nice analogy, you know, that this new vessel that's happening, you know, this music that little boy didn't hear could have been our music, could have been our voices, could have been our words, you know. So
There's a veteran of the music industry. She's been at AMP Camp. Her name is Heather Bishop.
Oh, yes.
And she's like been in the music business 40 years. And she said what's happening now in our communities is like the black movement in the 60s and the women's movement in the 70s.
right,
It's this huge wave.
right.
Right? You can't hold it down. You can't hold it. It's just coming. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty amazing. So it's really nice to have you guys all in the vessel here. Wow.
Making
Wow.
some good medicine.
Yes.